So, Sydney, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am a senior at Utah State University studying recreation administration with a minor in business management. And my end goal with that kind of is to be an event manager and to oversee maybe a ski resort or something like that. I'm originally from Teton Valley, Idaho, Alto, Wyoming area, and I lived in Saudi Arabia for 5 years. So I love the outdoors, I love traveling, love interacting with people and kids and all that kind of stuff. So
Awesome. How did you find out about YMCA of the Rockies?
I found it on Indeed, actually. Yeah, I was just
Okay.
researching recreation internships. So
And what do you know about us, about our organization?
I don't know a ton about you, but when I lived in Washington, there was a YMCA next to our house, like one of the recreation centers. So I went there a ton and just loved the environment and stuff. And I know that you guys have 2 locations in the Colorado Rocky National Park, and that's a beautiful area. So I loved that idea of the YMCA Rockies.
Okay, great. Can you tell me a little bit about your... questions up? Can you give me an example of how your past experience has prepared you to potentially work in remote backcountry areas? So we, as YMCA of the Rockies, we have a variety of different positions, but one of the things that many of our staff do is run backcountry trips and take people into the backcountry of Rocky Mountain National Park or the area around it.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of backcountry experience, but I do go backpacking with my family, and living up in Idaho, we go out to the mountains horseback riding and packing, and so I have the basics, like fire starting, all that kind of stuff. I don't really have any certifications, but I'd be willing to learn and to broaden that area of my knowledge for sure.
And then one of the other things, because we're dealing with people, and even though they're on vacation mode typically, people still might have conflict that they experience. Sometimes it'll be between staff members, because you're all together so much throughout the summer. Most of our staff live here on site, so you're really close to people you're around a lot. Do you have a way that you typically deal with conflict, and can you give me an example of a time when you've had to deal with conflict, either with staff or with recreationists?
Yeah, so I had a waitress job up at a restaurant on campus, and there was an issue with this kid showing up late all the time, and he just wasn't a very good employee, and our manager didn't have very much authority and wouldn't talk to him or tell him that he needed to show up on time. So the other employees and I kind of had to take that into our own hands and actually confront him about it. And so that was one experience that was really difficult, just being like, hey, it's not fair to us that you show up late all the time, and maybe we could work this out. So I think confronting the person first is definitely important, and telling them what your issue is, what maybe they could do to fix it, or just kind of compromise. And I don't know, I think it's always good to tell them that there's a problem before you go any higher than that.
Okay, great. Where would you like to see your career go in the next 5 years? So you kind of told me when you were talking about who you are, what you want to do, but in the next 5 years, where do you see your career going?
I want to take a year after I graduate and work at different places and experience different jobs, maybe see what I'm interested in. And then I'd actually like to go back and get my master's and try and do something with that and maybe go into therapeutic recreation.
Okay.
So hopefully that's the direction it goes into, but we will see.
Okay.
It's to be determined.
Great. Sorry, just turn ours down. Do you have questions for us?
What's it like, what's your company culture like? What brings you guys together? Do you guys have activities?
So because we're so large, we have the 2 different resorts. We're quite a lot. Both of those resorts are quite large. One is more ranch focused. One is more is like a hotel, an event center, with ranch, also in a slight ranch setting. But part of our organizational culture is that we really strongly encourage our staff to spend time together, both working and recreating. and being together. We eat dinners together. Food is actually provided depending on your role here. If you're working more at the ranch, food is a part of what you do. It's part of what you prepare. It's part of how you program. So you'll be involved in all of those steps. And so we have a sort of a family setting almost in that way. And we have a lot of staff that return. So people are fairly close to each other, and they're coming back to see each other every summer.
I don't know, like, is there time during the week that we get to go and like explore the national park or activities that we get to go do by ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. We do, because we have staff from all over the country. We actually do some guided trips for people's days off, as well as you have your own time when you're not working. And it depends on the role that you get hired into. We have certain jobs where you may be out for a week and not have time, and then you have time off at the end of the week. But we really do try to give you time to go out and explore. It's a beautiful country, and we have opportunities where you'll be doing that with guests as well.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so